Hey guys, what's going on? It's Brandon. So I'm going to do my best here to kind of like explain to you the 50-50 direction that things are going to go. There's a fork in the road right now of how things are going to go. And this fork in the road is basically about the Clarity Act. Does the Clarity Act proposed that's written up by the Senate, okay, does it suggest that BSV is quote unquote not going to be ruled a commodity? And if their first draft suggests that it won't be ruled a commodity, which is possible, I do believe that that's a possibility on the table, that their first draft will be written up that way, then I think that it's just dragging out the inevitable to where that's basically corrected, overturned, if you will, and eventually BSV becomes a commodity, okay? Where the Clarity Act is reformed and it becomes a commodity. So I don't know when this all occurs. I don't know if it's this week. I don't know if it's a year from now. I don't know. Like, okay, so I'm going to show you some stuff on the phone. So we're going to go back to the BSV chart, okay, on my phone, and I'm going to show you here the volume that happened yesterday, which is a really big deal, and it's still there. The blocks are still there. So here's BSV, okay, and this is on CoinMarketCap. Okay, give me a second. Somebody just texted me some bullshit. Okay, so this is BSV on CoinMarketCap, and when you go to a one-day chart, see these big blocks? These are volume. These blocks are so big that they dwarf all the previous volume. So here's the normal volume of 10% a day. Okay, roughly 10% a day is what's been trading of the total market cap, which is a huge number to begin with. But then we have these things. When I click here, it tells you 1.3 billion in volume, 400 million in volume. Now here's what's crazy. Those are two separate blocks. So you say, well, how's that make any sense? Good question. Okay, so the point is, we could have had 400 million, 1.3 billion, and another 400 million that are all similar size. And you say that's impossible. That's bigger than the entire market cap. The entire market cap, Brandon, is only 516 million or whatever it is. Okay, 517 million. So that's impossible. It couldn't have done that. It could have if there's synthetic shares involved on the exchanges, which the institutions will hold on to until the price starts to go up, and then they eventually sell those, okay? And or, how do I explain this? It's like a game. It's like an insider trading game that the institutions and the exchanges may have. I'm going to use the word may. And basically, they invented this stuff for the stock market, and they've carried it across to crypto, where they have a discrepancy. Long story short, when the masses start selling their BSV, as BSV starts to run, then that regular BSV takes the place of the synthetic. But it's basically a way for the institutions to all pile in and make a fortune on the way up, okay? Because then they just wait a very long time before they sell. See, if BSV is ruled that it's a commodity, BSV is going to be king for a long time. It's in my opinion. This is not financial advice. Do your own due diligence. But BSV is going to become the king for a very long time, for like at least, potentially like a decade or more, okay? The point is, okay. That's not normal. That's never happened before. If we go out to a 1 year, hang on a second here. How do I get it to focus? The 1 year chart isn't updated yet. The weekly has to close out. But if we go out to a 1 month, you can see the volume yesterday, okay? That's unheard of. That's crazy, crazy volume, okay? We've never had anything like that before. And that's against trading at 10 and 20% total market cap per day for the last several weeks, okay? So now let's talk about the Clarity Act. Give me a second. I'm going to pull it up here. Facebook to find it. This is a good warm-up. This is Forbes posted this yesterday. We're toast. Tesla CEO Elon Musk issues serious 37 trillion US debt warning. So I've been explaining for years that what the United States would be advantageous for them to do is create hyperinflation so that they can pay back the 37 trillion in the blink of an eye, because it wouldn't take much crypto or gold or whatever to pay it back if they had the dollar undergo hyperinflation. Meanwhile, update on the crypto market structure legislation Senate banking draft. Senate banking draft, okay? So, I refuse. Okay. This was published on August 1st, so pay close attention. This is a lot of people were involved in the writing of this, so it's very accurate. Okay, so the Senate Banking Committee, which has jurisdiction over the SEC, releases its long-anticipated digital asset market structure legislation titled the Responsible Financial Innovation Act of 2025. The committee's draft, okay, so I'm going to scroll down here. It includes the Clarity Act. So basically you scroll on down here. I'm trying to keep this video short, but you can also, it'll be linked in the description and the comments. So you have the Senate banking draft, and then you have the Clarity Act. And the point is, the Clarity Act is supposed to be finalized, not finalized, but the first draft is supposed to be, okay, so the Senate Agriculture Committee, which has jurisdiction over the CFTC, is expected to release their draft of the bill in early September. That's right now. Senate banking, and by the way, senators always buy things before they go up big, don't they? So BSV had this huge volume, not saying that this absolutely happened, but just connecting some dots that are potentially occurring right now. Senate Banking Committee Chairman Tim Scott has said his goal is to get the SEC portion of the legislation voted out of the committee by September 30th. Okay, so here we are in September. We have the biggest volume BSV movement. And what's this about? It's all about what is a commodity versus what is a security. So as you can see, there's these two columns. Talks about the Senate banking draft versus the Clarity Act. And so I'm just going to scroll down through here. You can read all this. I'm not going to read all this to you. You can go to the link that I provide in the comments, or you can just watch this video, because I'm going to keep this in focus and scroll all the way down so that you can see what's going on. But the point is, this has huge implications on whether or not BSV is a commodity or a security. It should be a commodity, and BTC should be ruled as a security. Now, they might let them both coexist as commodities for a little bit. Either way, BSV has a much better chance of having room to run, in my opinion, than BTC. And then eventually, one day, BTC might get challenged and lose, because BSV is the original. Because otherwise, we could just have fork after fork after fork after fork from BTC and BCH and BSV. So to put a cap on things, you have to say, okay, after the forks, what is the most authentic and original? Okay? So anyhow, hopefully you've understood. I'm just trying to keep this a short and sweet video to get to the point. This is why the big volume going into BSV, in my opinion, some people can say, oh, that's just fake volume. Oh, really? You think the senators don't have a shady way to get in? You think the big world banks don't have a shady way to get in and create synthetic shares? And then once it rises up, they eventually, as the masses sell, they swap them on the exchanges for their shares, their IOU shares that are owed. They basically then become the owners of the real BSV once enough of the masses sell on the way up. You see what I'm saying? All right, then. That's what that video is about. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying. Hopefully you understand the magnitude of what I'm trying to explain to you right now and why that video that I posted up last night is so important. Instead, I got fucking low IQ dunces. That's all just fake. That's all just fake. CoinMarketCap, they just put that up there. It's fake information. IndoX is a British exchange. Britain, England, royal families, banking families. You think that they would coincidentally not choose to use IndoX if IndoX is not only in England, but it happens to not report to any of the other volume reporters? So whether it's exchanges or CoinGecko or any of these other websites, CoinMarketCap is the only one that reports IndoX data. So they chose to deal with the exchange. If my potential hypothesis is correct, the elites chose to deal with the exchange that doesn't report to 99% of what the masses see. Again, could this go the other way, where they still rule that BSV is not important and they continue to take it down? Sure, but inevitably, eventually, BSV is going to win out. Whether or not Craig Wright is Satoshi is meaningless. Satoshi wrote the original code and BSV is the original code. This whole Craig Wright thing is a big fucking distraction for stupid people, and I'm aware there's a whole bunch of you. See ya.